Coming up on 8:35, time now for Keller at Large.
Here's Jon Keller.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. You know, politics and economics have always been intertwined, and we got a taste of how that's working these days this past week when many workers at Wayfair, the Boston-based online housewares company, staged a walkout as a protest over the company's business dealings with controversial migrant detention facilities. Well, here to talk about that and much more is Peter Cohen, a management expert and lecturer at Babson College who's written many books, including his latest, Scaling Your Startup, Mastering the 4 Stages from Idea to $10 billion. And Peter, it's good to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Appreciate it. So you wrote in your Forbes magazine column last week, after Wayfair's sort of dismissive response to their employees' complaints that you wrote that, quote, management is going to pay steep tuition for pretending that political concerns don't have an effect on business decisions, end quote. Why do you say that, and what does this tell us about the role politics is playing in business these days?
Well, I think one of the things that's very, very interesting to me is that they have a lot of employees who are millennials, and the millennials feel very passionately about certain political issues, and if they want to retain their millennial employees, then I think they really have to respect their views. And what I thought was the most appalling thing as a management professor is just look at this decision from a cost-benefit analysis perspective. And what they were doing was they were saying that they're going to make $86,000 in profit. This is a $7 billion company. It's going to make $86,000 in profit from selling to these detention centers. And the costs of doing that are going to be so much greater. It's going to affect their brand. I've gotten people responding to my blog post by saying they're going to cancel their accounts with Wayfair. I've had, employees obviously were so passionate about it that they were willing to go out on strike, or not on strike, but on a walkout. And I think it's going to affect hiring new employees as well. So it has a bad effect, and it's much greater than the profit that they're going to get from selling this furniture.
Well, the CEOs and some of the defenders in the media said, look, we just can't be in the business of rejecting clients based on these political concerns, and the company that operates that detention center has a much broader footprint than that. Do they have a point?
I don't think they have a point. Okay. I mean, I think everything in this society is very highly politicized these days. There's people supporting, a lot of people supporting Democrats, a lot of people passionately supporting Republicans. We can't pretend that there's no politics going on. We have a very sharply divided country around different places, and I think every business needs to understand where its employees and customers are coming from and position themselves accordingly.
Well, we're coming up on the 5th anniversary of the market basket protests of 2014, where employees, subcontractors, and customers kind of banded together to stop a management takeover of that supermarket chain, a takeover that would have threatened, they felt, generous employee benefits. Now, at the time, one of, in my view, the worst columnists in America, Holman Jenkins Jr. of the Wall Street Journal, wrote that the upheaval would likely kill Market Basket and that workers should have, quote, rolled with the change. What did he get wrong?
Well, what he doesn't understand is that there's this concept of what I call value leadership. I wrote a book about this, which is the idea that if you create an employee environment where people love to work and they learn a lot and they want to treat their employees well, they treat their employees well, the employees treat their customers well, and then the customers keep coming back, and the employees get more and more experience and get more productive, you create a very profitable company that can outperform the competition and earn higher returns for shareholders. That is the concept that was going on at Market Basket, and the CEO, Arthur T., really instituted that concept. And I was just really excited to see that a company was actually taking the ideas that I had written about. And I'm sure they never read my book, but that they were actually using those ideas, and that the employees were willing to go out on strike to get back that CEO. That has never happened, as far as I know, in the history of American labor, that workers have gone out on strike to get their CEO back. And to me, it worked very well. They got their CEO back. Their CEO got a controlling interest in the company, and the company is doing really well. So he was completely wrong.
5 years later, Market Basket is thriving.
Yes, exactly.
So you can do well and do good at the same time.
If you have the right CEO with the right mindset.
All right, let's take our break, and when we return, we're going to talk a little bit about the local economy, its advantages, its disadvantages, and how the political climate may be affecting it. So please stay with us.